Hello, my name is Simone. No, not Miles. Simone Pigason from Delaware, Philippines. I am the Senior Vice President for Customer Success. I handle sales, pre-sales, business development, marketing, and press relations in Delaware, Filipinas. I chose this program because it's the most applicable in my role in the career path that I have chosen, which is sales leadership. For me, I like the type of program where I don't just understand things in theory, but also get to practice it instantaneously in my work. And that's exactly this program, the Masters in Science in Leading Sales Transformation. I find myself being able to apply even small details of each module in my work life immediately, even after the taught course, right? So I guess that's basically the main reason why I found this program very helpful for me, and why I would recommend it to people who would like to advance their professional practice in sales. Module 1 would be the module which I think was the most impactful for me, because it really was the one which set the tone for me in this program. Module 1 is about thinking innovatively about sales leadership. So it talked about what is our perception of what a salesperson is, what is our perception of ourselves, and how does that affect our leadership, our sales leadership? How does that affect how we lead our people to good sales performance, etc.? So I like the fact that it started with the I, okay? With what a salesperson or sales leaders values, vision, mission in life, beliefs, competencies, etc. I can actually picture Hagen's onion model that basically talks about the layers of personality, right? So I like that module started from the I, right? Which then hyper focuses on, again, who we are as salespeople, right? Because it does our understanding of that does affect how we practice or affect our sales practice, right? And I like the sequential, how the program was, the modules were sequential, such that it started with the I, and then with the we, and then to the greater we. So started with the salesperson, the sales leader itself, and then it went to the we, meaning how that particular self, that sales leader, affects the performance of the whole sales team, the we, and then how that then affects the greater we, or the full ecosystem of that sales scenario, right? So for me, it's module 1 because it sets the tone and it sets a good foundation for all the following, or for all the modules that followed. Unpopular opinion, but my favorite part of the program would have to be the final paper or the thesis. I know it's the most dreaded because you would have to write a lot, right? And read a lot and cross-reference a lot of literature. But for me, it's just a good culmination of the past 2.5 learning journey, right? When I was writing the paper, I realized that, hey, I know this. Hey, I know this methodology. Hey, this author actually talked about this already in module 2. So whilst I was writing it, there was also a realization of the breadth and depth of learning that I've gotten throughout the program. So whilst it is the hardest part of the program, it's still my favorite. Before fully committing to the program, I would say that one of the barriers, or maybe a better word, is hesitation. would be time management. I took this program the same time that I have a full-time job. I'm a full-time sales leader to a team who's expected to deliver sales results month by month, quarter by quarter. So that's really one of the main hesitations, right? Another is, going back to the academe after so many long years after my bachelor's. So I was fearful that I may not be as receptive as I was when I was younger. So so those are the things that are going in my head before really fully committing to the program. What helped me go through those hesitations and barriers were really having the support group that I have. I was blessed to be with friends amongst my cohort, so people who are in the same region, Southeast Asia, whom I know as well, who are also dealing with the same leadership and who know the same people that we work with. So having familiar faces in the same program really helped on taking out those barriers and hesitations. Immediate quick wins I noticed in myself would be the humanization. I'm not sure whether that's a term, but the humanization of the sales role in my self-perception, right? As a sales practitioner or a sales leader or anybody in the sales practice, right? We can't help ourselves but to be engrossed on the daily grind. And the sales role or the sales job is a high-strung, fast-paced kind of role. And so when you do that every time, you couldn't help yourself but to really just be engrossed and immersed on it. Close one deal, after that you close another, you're as good as your last deal, as they say, etc. in the sales business, right? So I think one of the immediate quick wins is, again, the humanization of it, right? That the sales practice involves a sales leader and a sales leader's values, missions, competencies, etc. It also involves individual team members that have different individualities, right? And a sales leader cannot just simply multiply him or herself and make, for example, in my case, mini Simones. So the realization that a sales practice is not just a science but also an art, and both of them together is, I think, one of those quick wins, right? I'm pretty sure that this quick win, this realization would then result to other wins or other impact in the near future, but I think that would be the most impactful for now. Graduating is exhilarating, of course. I'm happy that I've graduated 2.5 years, but then there's also a feeling of this 2.5 years not being long enough. I didn't want the learning to stop, because learning this whole Masters in Science, this whole course wasn't just taught learning, it was also a lot of sandboarding with peers, with my co-members of my cohort, my lecturers. I've gotten a lot of feedback and mentorship and coaching from lecturers and staff of Consalia, which I appreciated very much. So I guess while I'm happy that I graduated, I'm really happy that I graduated, there's also a feeling of, I hope it didn't end. So yes, I could say that the most impact right now of the course for me, and I've just graduated, right, would be more intrinsic, more internal, right? And I guess that's really the core of it all. I'm happy that towards the first few modules of this course, it was really to understand what kind of seller you are, right? What are your foundations? What are your core values as a person? Which would then which would then reflect on your values as a seller, your values as a salesperson, as a sales leader. So during the course, and even now, a couple of months after graduation, what has heightened is that sense of self-awareness. So not only do I understand the activities that I'm doing, sales activities that I'm doing right now, sales methodologies, activities, etc., I am now self-aware of how these sales activities and methodologies are connected with the concept of self, right? We always say that, our work is work, our personal is personal, right? I like the focus of this curriculum or this course at the very early stages of the course. I like the focus on the self, right? Because it really is going to be the foundation of everything, right? And so I guess that's the biggest impact that this course has on me right now, right? I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the only impact, but I guess it's the most evident impact that it has on me right now. And I think it is just right. The impact to a sales leader of this course is really, first and foremost, I believe, going to be internally of the sales leader. I could probably describe the program through 3 A's. Number 1 is awareness of the sales concepts, how it relates to you as a sales leader, how your core values as a sales leader affect your followers or your followership, right? So a lot of awareness is going to be heightened through this program. Again, awareness of the self and awareness of the people around you in a sales scenario, right? Second is action. So there's a lot of action research in this program, which I like. So I like action research particularly because you could definitely already apply it to your work, right? So it's applicable instantaneously and immediately in your work setting. So I like the action part of this program. Number 3 is afterthought. So definitely even after this program, after each module and after each program, there's going to be a lot of afterthoughts, right? The program sequence is very good, as I've said in my previous statement. It starts with the self, and then it starts with your sales team members. So it just compounds in a very good sequence the topics. So one topic after the other, you'll have a lot of afterthoughts. I surely have right now, even after I graduated. So awareness, action, and afterthought would be how I would describe it to a colleague.